Hello and welcome to the Clodcast. I am sweaty as fuck right now. I am joined by Ben
That's one type. That's one way to introduce yourself. Jesus.
and Kyle's.
Hello.
Listen, our spreads are not made for the heat. Ask Sully. Sully will tell you that all day long.
Isn't Sully American? How would he know Brits are not made for heat?
No, he just constantly whips into me anytime I say it's hot in Britain.
Yeah.
But America, and it's like, yeah, it's a different kind of heat. Our buildings are different.
Very true. So we are here to recap the second to last week of regular season of BTL. We have a guest here, Clive, who is gonna who made a whole reading comprehension about how everybody can make playoffs.
Yep. A lot of people still can't make playoffs. Ben, I think you still have a chance, but it's you'd
Slim.
need a pretty big loss from Nate, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So Clive's made a whole sheet here. So from start to finish, there's the Scarlet, the Scarlet playoff scenarios. In Violet, it is a little bit different. First of all, let's get through the matches, and then we can say how everybody can make the playoffs after this last week. And the first match is Clive's match, actually, versus Embiid.
Yes.
Yeah, so this was an interesting matchup. My opponent had a Miltank and didn't bring it. My whole game plan was basically based around trying to take advantage of the turns Miltank was in, because I had set up Crocodile. But they just didn't bring it, so that kind of just shifted the game plan to, okay, Spectre can come in and click buttons on most of this team.
Yeah. It's a weird choice not bringing it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought even if you give up the free turns, like, you have ways around that, but I guess not.
Yeah, also considering the dark type, they have, I think, Terra Dark on Embor, but the dark type is Weavile, and the steel type is Metagross, which both don't deal too well with Spectre, is pretty interesting.
Yep. I'd kind of just built a pretty offensive team. I don't switch into Embor. I don't switch into any of this stuff. I just kind of built an offensive team, trying to set up Crocodile to win, because I noticed if Crook can get like the right amount of skill shots on Hydrapple, it's pretty difficult to stop.
Yeah, but that is also considering like the Hydrapple isn't fully defensive, probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, it needed to be chipped down a little bit, but I felt pretty confident I could do that, given, especially with no Miltank, but even without, Crook and Medicham broke pretty well for each other here.
Yeah, so let's get into it. Manscaped sponsor is still the best nickname I saw this season.
I love it. Spotify Wrapped is pretty good too.
Yeah, so I kind of realize at this point I don't really switch into this guy because I got the first turn wrong, so I just kind of lose my Meloetta, which is fine. It was here for Nidoqueen.
Yeah. Also, them bringing Terrifier just says they want to use that as offensively as possible.
Yeah, my team is pretty bad into fire types, so I get it. So yeah, it's not AV and only max HP, not Spadef Hydrapple, which will definitely matter later on. Cobalion claims a kill with Helmet, forces in Weavile, which I guess kills if it's banded, but I just get all of its health, which is fine.
Oh yeah, that Weavile.
Puts it in range of... Yeah, it's in range of Shadow Ball now, and I know it's banded from that damage, so...
Oh yeah, nothing wants to take a Shadow Ball right now, not even the Hydrapple.
Yeah.
Not bringing Miltank cost in the game.
Yeah, that's like an 80% chance to kill, I think. And I even live a Scarf knockoff from here, barely, but I do. So I'm just like, I can stay in. Ice Shard doesn't kill, so I just stay in.
Yeah, but
Click
now
Shadow Ball
you're in
again.
bullet punch range, so...
Which is
Yeah, I
fine, to
figured
be
they'd
honest.
have Bullet Punch.
Oh,
I figured they have Bullet Punch, but they don't. I was just like, I can just win with Crocodile right after this.
Yeah, because you just go knock and then go earthquake and then knock and you win.
I mean, I probably Scale Shot to live any one hit, and then outspeed Starmie, and then I can just win from there. Because
Oh, yeah,
then two
true.
knocks from there kills. Because I wasn't Scarf this week. Yeah, but this game ended up being really easy. It took 12 turns. I didn't think it would be like that for sure, because I don't switch into any of these guys, but ended up fine.
Ember's having
yeah.
a bit of an off season, to be honest.
Yeah, consider, like, the one thing you do against a Spectre, you bring your normal type, especially one like Miltank who can take hits from Spectre pretty well, and with Scrap you can even, like, do damage with Body Slam or something.
Yeah, I was considering like a Flame Orb set actually to make sure I just wouldn't get paralyzed with it and could set up on it, but Scrappy Facade kind of ruined that whole game plan. So I was just like, I need Spectre to have a different role and just kind of force Miltank in and make progress through that way. So that was
Yeah.
my game plan for this game. Ended up working out. Again, not the way I anticipated, because I thought I'd win with Crocodile, but Spectre just won. So that's helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just Spectre, man. As soon as the Rocket Helmet chip happened, it was over.
Feel like
Basically,
They
yeah.
didn't have
Once
a
Weavile
plan.
was in range of Shadow Ball, I wasn't even choiced. I was just boots.
I feel like at that point as well, the only thing after Weavile went down, the only thing that could have saved the game was a niche Metagross set where he was Bullet Punch, Weakness Policy, Agility, and two more moves. That's the only thing that could have probably won from that
Yeah.
scenario.
Even then, it would need to have been able to kill the Metacham, which might not have happened anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it would need Psychic Fangs and then probably Earthquake. I don't think that breaks Crocodile.
Yeah, that doesn't break
Yeah, not
Crick.
at all. Yeah, so pretty simple game, 12 turns.
Yeah.
Ended up going fine.
Now we're off to Order, who already locked for playoffs with his broken ass team.
Locked for first as well, by the
Yeah.
way.
It's
This
just
team is
seeing
stupid.
Coco with Bundle, Iron Moth, and a Terra Leaves is terrifying.
Yeah, I legit. There was a reason why I basically bought meme sets when I faced him in regular season, because if I face him in playoffs, I can only beat this team once, and I can only beat it once, and that's via hacks, and I don't trust myself to hack him twice.
Yeah. Very nice from one there taking away the terrain extender.
Mm.
Terra Dark.
Yeah, I will say Skunk Tank is a pretty good check to this guy. I had a Hisuian Quillfish, but in my first matchup, but it just didn't end up mattering.
Yeah.
But I dropped that guy, so this matchup actually becomes a little harder.
Yeah. I feel like one thing a lot of people like didn't do against Order, first of all, because it's hard to get anything ready with constantly being pressured by that team, but like toxic spikes, for example, would be pretty good here, to like get Tinglu in, like force it in on the T spikes and not let them off come in.
Well, even then, just getting honestly, if you just get T rocks and like a T spikes up, at least you can also scout items too, because you then learn, okay, this has boots, this doesn't has boots, this has this. That it's good at its own right as well.
Yeah.
I think I did consider bringing toxic spikes against him in the heat battle. I don't know if I'll bring it against him in the actual play if I do face him in playoffs. I have an idea in mind of a couple of the sets I'm going to bring.
The thing is, if I make playoffs, I gotta face Order round 1. That's gonna be fun.
No, you
because
would.
Order has
No,
a
you.
bye, right?
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, top
Order
two get
has a
by.
bye. I forgot we do 6
So
people only.
me and Order are buying to the semi-final. If it was 8 people, then you'd be playing Order or me probably. If you got
Yeah,
playoffs.
so you either face you face Order in finals or you don't face Order.
which I don't mind, to be honest. If I get to finals, I'm happy enough.
By the way, very interesting here, Tinglu outspeeding the +1 Gouging Fire.
He must have clicked Dragon Tail.
Yeah, I was
has to
gonna
be.
say probably clicked a phasing move.
He probably clicked Dragon Tail countering a Whirlwind attempt, is my guess. I know that sounds a very, very niche action, but I think that legitimately is why he clicked Dragon Tail, because he might have thought Tinglu was going for Whirlwind. But I don't know if Tinglu, if ever goes for Whirlwind there, it can just kill with Earthquake if it's got Earthquake.
Yeah, I feel like the best
Basically,
scenario
yeah.
there is always go for damage because they either kill you or they phase you out.
Yeah. He was right, they did have Whirlwind, but I think they kill you there.
Yeah.
See, Terraflygon's good, Ben.
I'm still not that much of a fan of Terraflygon.
I think it's fine. Based on the Terras that were allowed, I think it's like one of the better ones, but not the best one. Best one's probably Leaves.
Yeah, Leafs is
Yeah.
without a doubt probably the best one, especially if you compare it up with Coco.
Which, by the way,
Yeah.
was a mistake. It should not have been allowed. Sully fucked up.
Yeah, those Sully moments.
I genuinely also was there like, I want to change this mid-draft because no, this should not have been allowed. I didn't want this to be allowed, but yeah, it was too late. Like,
Yeah. I
fine.
was talking to some friends about I was like, I have to face Order's team. Imagine if they just like, because I think Cryo is probably, I don't know. I just don't think it's that good. Like Cryo Appleton, like you could legit replace those two with Abomasnow Arctozolt, and I was just like, that'd be the worst team to prep for all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you could Terra
I think
Arctozolt.
I feel like actually, I'm not going to go into much depth on it because I want to save some stuff for when I face Order. If I face Order in playoffs, I think the Appleton and what was it, Appleton or Appleton mostly works for what he's trying to counter. If that makes sense, I think there is a
Yeah, I get
reason he's
it.
gone for those slow, bulky ones. I do understand it. I have an idea of how I would try and beat him if I got faced him in final, but I need to get to final first.
Yeah.
But I saved it
I
deliberately.
haven't thought about that matchup. I gotta play 3 more games before, or maybe I could face Order quarterfinals. It really
Because
depends.
my record was so good midway through the season, I deliberately didn't bring my best team versus Order because I was like, right, well, I'm probably gonna have to play him in playoffs if I make it. So fuck it, let's basically just meme against him. I've got a good record. I'll just win the rest of my matches. But I discussed it with Zach. Zach actually had the same idea I had, so I don't know whether I'm thinking even more heat for the playoffs. But I think Zach had the same idea I had for one of the sets. So he was actually saying, "Oh, you should bring this as we would here." I was like, "That's actually the legit set I'm going to bring Zach." So I was there like, "No, I'm definitely bringing that legit set."
The one thing that was also surprising about this match for me, Zog obviously replaced somebody, and they did the best against Order.
Zog's really good.
Yeah,
He's
I feel
really
like
good.
even if they did Heat Crash or Flare Blitz, whatever they had on Tinglu to get more damage on it, this could have maybe been different because just it took a while for them to whittle down Tinglu.
And they win this game, they're still in playoff contention as well, I think.
Yeah, if they won this, they would have still been in playoff contention exactly. But with that loss, they were out of it.
I actually
Yeah, they
don't
lost one loss
think
to Zach as
so.
well.
I don't think if Zog or Zug wins this game, they're in playoff contention just because of diff, really.
Oh yeah.
They need to win by a lot.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So this game, this was an interesting one. So honestly, Regieleki I always respect as a mon, so Sandy Shots had to come. So I brought it defensively. I did consider Sambot Hisui, but I actually decided I wanted to save it for a playoff rematch if it comes up. There was also sets I also didn't bring certain sets as well because I wanted to save them for rematch in playoffs. Because again, like Nates is in a playoff position. I didn't need to win this match. I was already basically guaranteed second, so I didn't really need to try hard in this match. I was still going to bring decent sets because it still affects other people's playoff places. But I was like, right, I'm not going to bring my best sets. I'll bring some good sets here. And then as soon as I see there is no Regieleki, I'm kind of like, well, Sandy Shocks is free just to get basically spikes up ASAP.
Yeah, considering they don't have any other removal.
Yeah, no removal basically meant free spikes this game. I did lead this because I was expecting Glaring Damanitan leads.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I
And I
love that
clicked
lead,
that
to
because
be
I felt
fair.
like I live everything but a Stone Edge, so I went for Pain Split because if they go for like a Rock Slide, I just basically chunk that thing straight away. Then immediately went out to this because I want to get my spikes up as soon as possible. And I'm Terra Ground because I'm not going to be worried about the Clodsire with any hits. Fault Switch here because I don't think they're going back into Clodsire. And I call the Leech Seed basically. And at this point, if I remember correctly, I'm banned on Rillaboom. So I'm basically like, yeah, U-turn's just free. I don't need to mess about.
That's all.
I just go back to the
The
center.
Clodcire also has a great nickname.
That one's great. I love that nickname. I did consider spiking here, but obviously decided to go for the damage.
Ooh.
This and
Yeah, I
then
mean,
I think they're going to switch it. That was I think my only misplay of the game. I thought they were going to switch,
I
so I
mean,
went
even
for
if they
it.
switch, Spike is probably safer.
Yeah, I agree on that one. I just wanted to get momentum. I was being a bit too aggressive, and at this point, I'm also kind of like, do you know what? I decided in my head, I was like, I'm going to go for the Earth Power here, just in case if they switch, I'll get some free damage off, and just do chunks to the end chow. I think this was AV as well, by the way. So I thought it was AV. I think it actually might have been banned. I basically call it though either being Scarf or banned, so that's why I go for Dazzling Gleam because I'm like, well, just in case I'm wrong. But I didn't think they could hit me. I'll play there to see some damage. At this point, I decide what's more valuable, and I just like, do you know what? Getting the third spike up, so just to rack up the damage is perfect for me.
yeah, makes sense, because the third spike is disproportionately rewarded relative to the second one.
Yeah. Foul play does a shit ton, but honestly, I don't mind that because they either basically terror there, and I basically get them to burn their terror early, or I nuke them to death with U-turn, or I get a catch a switch. Here at this point, I go Registeel, which is my best answer to Domanitan. Now I've got Chip on Rotom Heat.
Sneasler Repellent.
I love that name.
Like, the more I look at the matchup as well, though, the they didn't really have a good switch into Rillaboom all game long.
Pause. By the way, this was some heat I came up with as well. I didn't really, honestly, I didn't know this got Psychic Noise until like prepping for this matchup, and I was like, oh, this is actually good coverage here because of obviously the Tapu Lele's, and then actually in the battle it came in so handy for just chipping the Clodsire down. Also, yeah, Sneasler is really good in this matchup, like, but the irony is I didn't bring out Sneasler once all game. Sneasler didn't even hit the fields, so I've saved my Sneasler set because it was actually quite fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense to probably Covert Cloak, Aloe, Terra Poison, which I'd figure is the Sneasler check in this game.
Yeah, it was Covert Cloak. I remember that. Psychic Noise didn't work. Miss Majors has been actually really good as a terror, like one in this season. I go Rotom Heat here because I am basically just scouting to see what they click. Registeel comes in. It doesn't care about Focus Blast, and I am also Resto Chesto. So if they do a bunch of damage, I heal it back up.
Wouldn't it have been better to then just straight up go Registeel instead of sacking the Rotom? If you say,
I think I don't live two. I don't live two Specs Focus Blasts.
okay.
Which, yeah, like honestly, I could then just switch out into Miss Majors, but I didn't want to risk it. I was like, Rotom Hate has no value left here, so I was just sacking it. I don't really care about diff. I'm already on 6 wins. I don't need to worry about saving diff.
Yeah,
I
I
just sacked
suppose you're
this off
just
just to
playing for
scout.
the win.
Yeah, I'm playing for win. I've got 6 wins. I don't need diff. So the reason I went to this was basically because of calling the Alu switching, and because I can click this and just basically stop it from wishing. I also learned at that point it is Covert Cloak for certain because it didn't get affected by the heal block. But yeah, and then Registeel at this point, even if they focus blast, I don't really care.
Still, coming back to the Rotom play, I feel like it was always better to go Registeel because if they are Specs Focus Plus, you just come as Magius after, don't you?
I do, but honestly, I was just being safer. Like I was being ultra safe because I don't need to really basically try for the diff. I mean, it might be if I was playing for diff, I think it is definitely go Registeel and then play from there. But I was just being ultra safe. I was like, I can just sack Rotom Heat, don't need the diff, just make easiest win con.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, like them not bringing their removal was one part of the downfall because just the spike chip is so huge.
I
Especially
get
not
it though
bringing the
because they
removal, considering you have a Samurai Hisui, is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I
no
get it part
removal
because
was just tough here because
yeah.
like no removal and also no boots because like against your team with so many hazards like boot spam makes sense because of just the Registeel of Rocks and then Samurai and Sandy Shocks being two of the best setters.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like honestly, I get why they didn't bring Regieleki in part because it has such a bad matchup offensively. But honestly, a screens, rapid spin, fault switch set probably would have been better.
Probably, yeah.
Like you just bring it as hazard removal, yeah, and then you just basically switch out. Like, and also it's basically a deterrent to Samurai Hisui.
Yep. The last match of Scarlet is Ryan versus Zach.
This was mostly picked only for one set Ryan picked for. I also learned today that partner shot is a sound move. I didn't know that, so sorry, Zach. I do apologize. If I knew that in prep, I would have brought proof in mocks. So I am sorry. That's on me
yeah. I don't know. What else
because I
does
brought
soundproof
Stefan
even
in it.
help into against this team?
Nothing else. But honestly, that's probably worth it more than static was.
Yeah. That para, yeah, I remember. That para,
That power was.
that was disgusting because Slitherwing probably would have done a lot more.
It would have probably swapped at that point.
And there's still
I'm not
Grimmsnarl that
sure.
just parting
No,
shots.
because of
Oh, fake out as well.
fake out. Yeah, fake out parting shot means Slitherwing never sweeps, but it would have been able to probably like try and be. It would have been a candidate to revenge Heracross, I think,
Yeah.
depending on the
Mm.
spread. So it sucks, but it's not the most consequential, I don't think.
I think the sizzle was scarf, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that, to be honest. It's played like it's scarf, which I know seems weird, but I think it legitimately was a scarf set.
I
Yeah,
mean,
maybe.
it would work. I think the Scarf outspeeds the Heracross, right?
This is why this was a very cool set. Trick Room Teleport. I did not see this coming ever, but it kind of makes sense into Sack's team. I think I did bring Trick Room like Hatterin into their team because one way to counter a dual weather mode that's going for speed is all right. I'll just go Trick Room.
Yeah.
It was very good prep by Ryan. Like I didn't see it coming, and he really did prep very well. That crit I think mattered, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah, very likely did. Um,
It might have been a roll though. I think just because like of some stuff, but I'm not 100% there.
Yeah,
Oh
but
yeah, no, this
it's
was
probably not
half
the
now.
75% roll Ryan was talking about because Zach did have bulk on it.
Yeah, Sack definitely has quite a bit of bulk on it.
yeah. One thing I noticed though is like if I were in that position, I would have tried to bait out the Torch Song and go Wake just to stall one of the Trick Room turns. Uh,
Hmm.
because I just think that leaves you with more Mons, and Wake in this matchup isn't that great.
Yeah.
I suppose this is also a roll too, but yeah, just Wake into Vaporeon. Just like I feel like you more so want it to try and like scare out other guys rather than be the sweeper, be the last Mon there when you have
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
100% Vaporeon.
Yeah, I feel
yeah,
like the wake was more expendable than the stuff that did die to the Skeldurge.
agreed. I think Sack even admitted himself he was a bit tilted. But yeah, that also ruled Sack out of playoffs.
Yeah.
He has forfeited his last weekend's order because he's busy with work this week, so can't even mock with me.
Yeah, and
So,
that's
to be fair, I
also
kind of
means
get it.
order goes 9-0 in regular season.
Yeah, I would have probably asked him to actually play it if I had a chance of overtaking order, but because I don't, I was just like, yeah, it's fine. Because me and order are locked for first and second. We can't go up, we can't go down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess first second doesn't make a huge difference. It kind of just because it's all kind of random who's going to get 3 through 6 anyway. So first second I feel like doesn't really change that much overall.
Honestly, it would only be nice. It would only be nice if I could overtake. So if I overtake a stack, I'll make your team. Just play the match. If you win, you win. You lose, you lose. Just so I can test myself against all this team. But if there's no point to the game and order's going to be top anyway, let's just have a rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other two games were Rapid versus Smoliv, which Smoliv won with help from Garchomp and Rotom Wash, and then it was Tiger versus me, where
No. Actually, let's go back to one set. Smoliv brought Final Gambit, Scarf Annihilate, but let it turn 1, and Rapid was just like, the fuck? Rapid was so confused.
I get that though.
That's smart, to be
did
honest.
not see that coming at all, which I get, to be fair.
Yeah, and
I never bring. I don't really bring Final Gambit Annihilate. I probably should at some point. But
Final Gambit Annihilate is
I
actually a pretty good set because Annihilate's HP set is actually very high.
Yeah, I just get more use out of Annihilate just killing everything.
Yeah,
but honestly, as a turn 1 lead straight.
Yeah, but sometimes if you have a problem breaking something, you just pop in that Final Gambit and just use it.
Yeah, basically. I remember I just kind of spammed Resto Test it when it had it, and it just did so much work. It's just such a good mon.
It's good.
Yeah, and then the other game was me versus Tiger. I lost that technically because I missed a Focus Blast, but to be fair, I should have just avoided the Focus Blast miss in general. I should have sacked Donphan at that point, and then went Golden Go to see if they Terra or not, to avoid the 50-50. Yeah, I also forgot a future sight on the Entei.
Oh yeah, that was a bad play on your part. I mean, it happens. I mean, I've done it myself. That's why I love running future sight. I will say this. This might have been basically Smoliv's mum getting revenge because you did throw Smoliv out of a window, and then our believer basically got 3 kills on you.
Jeez, no.
Smoliv's mum got revenge.
Anyway,
threw Smoliv out of a window.
This is lore I don't know about. It's my first season.
Basically, Smoliv and me keep haxing Ben. I hacked Ben in an important playoff game, and Smoliv hacked him in the final. And as revenge, Ben threw a Smoliv figurine out of a window.
Basically, me and Roy have played, I think, over 10 times in total, and he has only won without hacks, I think, 1 or 2 times. The rest
one time.
The other times he either hacks me or I straight up beat him.
Yeah, I think I'm 6-4 against Ben. 3 times I've hacked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep hacking Aaron as well. I keep hacking Aaron as well whenever I play him as well.
Yeah. And Smoliv is pretty much the same. Smoliv has 1 win against me that is without hacks. 2 wins without hacks. Every other time Smoliv has beaten me, they have hacked me. Which is
not tough.
Yeah. And the one time they beat me, I was drunk. I remember that one. That was the first season I ever played BTL. I played Smoliv week 1, and I was drunk during that game.
I remember being drunk against my game against Rapid, where I fell asleep, woke up 3 hours later, and somehow 6-0'd him, and he 6-0'd me back in playoffs. I just remember being drunk. I was like, I just want to get drunk. How the fuck did I win that?
I have never played drunk, but I played high on pain meds once because I got my wisdom teeth removed like a week ago. So I played BTL before, but I played a game against in a different league.
Being high on pain meds, that sounds interesting. Anyway, for the current standings, we Zach, Embiid, and Tiger and Zog are all locked out of playoffs. No way for them to make it. And then it is me and Smoliv that are the only 2 left that have a chance. Smoliv needs to win and needs Nate or Rapid to lose.
Rapid, I think Rapid doesn't really affect them, to be honest, because they can't overtake. Oh, actually, yeah, no, sorry, they can overtake Rapid because of the record.
So Smoliv needs to get ahead of one of us. Smoliv can get ahead of Ryan, but only with like some crazy diff. I'm 8 diff ahead of Smoliv, so Smoliv would need to make up 8 diff, I think. So I think if Smoliv loses or by a certain amount, me and Ryan can lock, but Yeah, Rapid is winning in, I'm winning in, Ryan's winning in, and Nate is also winning in. But all four of us have a chance depending on if Smoliv, because if Smoliv loses, then I'm pretty confident everyone's in except Nate.
Right.
But it just becomes a little bit difficult because Ryan and Rapid and I play each other. So
Even
winner
if
of us is in,
even
and
if
even if I
Nate
lose 1-0,
lost, even if Nate lost 6-0 and Smoliv loses as well, Nate doesn't ever go underneath Smoliv. So if Smoliv loses, everybody else above is in.
it would just depend on you in that case.
Yeah, then it depends on me.
If Nate loses, and yeah,
'Cause
Nate can get
'cause-
overtaken by you and Smoliv, but Nate also overtakes the loser of me Rapid, barring a loss. So
Yeah.
it just kind of depends.
So basically, if I win, I basically help half the league basically make playoffs.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Pretty
playing
much,
small.
yeah.
I mean, I have already said outright, like I will not be memeing against Smoliv because it affects playoffs. But I'm also not bringing the best team I could into them because I want to save it in case I face them in playoffs.
I mean, if you beat
Makes
them,
sense,
you don't.
yeah.
If you beat them right now, you don't have to face them in playoffs. You know.
Yes, but what if I bring? But what if I force them to bring their best team and then they have to bring a worse team and I then bring my best team? I'm gonna try. Like I'm 100% trying. Like don't get me wrong. I'll send the team to you before I play the game, but I won't be
mean,
mocking this week because Sack's
I
busy.
do need you to win this because the potential for me to make playoffs depends on Nate and Smoliv. Smoliv needs to lose.
Yeah,
I'll send
Smoliv
you my
wins, you're
team.
out.
I'll honestly, because it affects your playoffs. That's why I'm trying, man. But I
Yeah.
won't. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna bring my best ever work.
So
I'll just be honest.
Yeah.
so
Do you know
Smoliv.
when you two are playing, or
No idea. As soon as
okay?
I make the team, I'll ping them. I just haven't had time to make the team yet, and I'm not going to be mocking this week. So, because Sack's busy, because I normally mock with Sack. And obviously, I think the only I'll mock for this week if I do is CPL. I won't be mocking for this because it doesn't really matter much.
Yeah. So basically,
Right.
what I
Yeah.
need to happen for me to make playoffs, I need Smoliv to lose. Obviously, I need to win my game, and I need Nate to lose by at least 4. And then I would need because Nate has the head-to-head versus me. That means if Nate loses and I win and we tie in differential, Nate makes the playoffs because they have the win versus me in regular season. So I need to overtake them. So I need either Nate loses 6-0 and I win 5-0, or any of the other possible scenarios. So Nate just needs to lose big.
I think 6040 also gets you in
Yeah.
because 660 and Nate loss would get Nate to 4-5 -1, and you can beat that with just a 4-0.
Yeah.
It's 0 div with 4-0. Yeah, I'm basically building against Rapid this week, but if I know I'm in playoffs, I'm just gonna ditch that team, save it for potential playoffs, and bring like probably maybe full meme. I don't know, whatever I'm feeling, because if I'm locked in, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, for you, I think it makes sense to meme against him if you're locked in. Like for me,
Yeah.
I could meme, but I also want to be respectful to the other players who are still in it. Hence
So
why I didn't meme
Yeah,
versus Nate
because
either.
a rapid loss doesn't matter if Smoliv loses anyway, and a Smoliv like I guess the only scenario would be if Smoliv 1-0s specifically. It matters for Smoliv if I can beat Rapid, but
Hmm.
I'll be locked in. So I guess in that case I would build a semi-serious team, but I wouldn't A team.
yeah. So basically, the two most important games for the playoffs in general are Nate versus Embiid and Smoliv versus Roy. These two will decide who gets into playoffs, and of course, Class's Rapid is seeding, and Ryan's is also seeding.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
Ryan could drop out,
if
but like,
Yeah.
Rapid could also drop out if both Nate and Smoliv win and Rapid loses, Rapid's out.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat, but Smoliv, the diff on Smoliv's game would matter as opposed to Rapid where it doesn't.
Yeah. So the important games to watch this in this last week are Nate and Beat, Roy Smoliv. These are the two most important ones, and after that it's Ryan versus Tiger and Clyde versus Rapid for seeding.
yeah. Basically, watch me versus Smoliv, and then you know if you need to watch the other games for the rest of the week.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's like for me right now. My game's probably being played at the end of the week, although Zoc has not answered me yet. Probably at the end of the week, and by then, if I see that that Nate has won or Smoliv has won, I will just not try.
That's fair. We'll just
Yeah,
meme
fair
actually in that case.
I will just meme at that point if Zog wants to meme. Off to Violet we go now, though. We have 4 more games in Violet.
I feel it's gonna get weird because I'll get to something. I'll get to something at the end, but like, Violet's gonna be funny as fuck because Sully's basically playing 2 games for Jafurka.
Yeah. So
Wait, that's funny.
yes, Sully dropping out and then dropping in. Go, Sully.
What makes it even funnier is Amelia would have made playoffs with a, but then Sully, his nemesis, who always just brings the most fucking wild shit and just confuses the fuck out of Emilio, drops in to be like, "You ought to beat me to make playoffs."
Yeah. So first game is Bakano versus Zard. Zard, the other person with Cocoa Leaves here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure their Grand team is the Grand team locked in to the playoffs?
No, they're not. No, I think they're heaven. They might be locked out if anything now.
We're gonna see the standings after all the matches, but right off the bat, one big problem I see for Bakano is how do they break Registeel Aloe?
Well, not now. Toxic on the aloe somehow. Yeah, I'm struggling. Hang on. Okay. No, there's not Terra.
So they need to use Buzzwole or
It's Buzzwole only.
yeah, they need to use
Well,
Buzzwole to
maybe
break the
X.
Registeel, but Aloe then comes in on the Buzzwole, so it pretty much needs to be set up Buzzwole.
Yeah, it needs to be Bulk Up, Thunder Punch, Drain Punch.
Ooh, that's nice, tricking the Scarf onto Registeel.
That will help.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, with Reggie, as long as it's not Resto Chesto, you can usually chip it down if you play smart around it. I love Reggie Steele, it's one of my favourites. It's 6-0 for me at the minute, which is fucking wild because I only bought it to 2 games. But it has weaknesses, as a mon.
Yeah. That crit probably does not matter a lot.
It depends, really, but if there is recover there, then it definitely didn't. But yeah, I don't know why you're risking Magmortar here, because Magmortar stopped Scizor from going crazy, so bit of an odd play, especially when Scizor in specific is a mon you want to have an answer to, because it probably comes into Revenge Leaves, depending on the Terra.
I think it's Terra
This
Fire.
leaves us fire.
Okay, maybe not as much then, but
This is Scarfgram probably then if it's coming in on the leaves.
Agreed.
yeah, and given it switched out and didn't like low kick on the Registeel, it might be.
Yeah.
Also, Scarf
Ooh.
is much more common on Protean than on.
Yeah.
Just being this ratio having some speed on it. Weird. The scarf. Oh fuck! The scarf fucked him up.
Yeah, the Scarf
If he wasn't
let
scarf,
the
well.
Buzzwole get toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you got. This is why I need to get better again at making notes during battle, because just to remind me of certain key things like that. Because if you remember that, then you know not to try to do the sub on it because it can outspeed you. It should outspeed you, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, because Buzzwole isn't very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There goes Latios
That's why
now.
that was a nice prediction.
I think that's.
This is why one of my favorites.
I think at that point it is already GG because what breaks Aloe now? Except for like Dark Pulse Flinch, Gren.
I
Yeah,
suppose
Hats
it
is
was
the weakest.
Sylveon if it can boost past it, but
Yeah, true.
With which I don't think it's a boosting set. Maybe +4 Bullet Punch or +4 Trailblaze. Honestly, if you got Trailblaze, you might kick it here.
yeah.
There's another
I was gonna
SD
say
now.
SD there is smart because it just helps. It prevents a lot of stuff from coming in, and you don't really need the HP. I suppose if you had Roost, you probably click it there, but just lefties probably not. Yeah. I guess you are forced out, huh?
Yeah, because of the
I don't think
Terrifier
plus 4
Bambi.
kills.
Yeah, this Leaf's died to a +4 Scizor.
Not with its fire, I think.
I'm gonna
Hydro
check
Um,
that
Mist
real
doesn't
quick.
really matter.
I'm looking at it right now. No, it won't. So yeah, 69 to 81.
It would have a chance to die, technically. It depends on on how the leaves is made. If it's adamant scissor.
No, it need to be boosting item, which it isn't because it's lefties.
Oh yeah, it's lefty.
Yeah,
So
so it is over at that point.
Yeah, yeah. It can't do. It can. I guess the highest roll kills after rocks if it's no bulk and max adamant. But yeah,
Yeah.
it just doesn't kill.
Yeah, and at that point also the Gren is locked into Sludge Wave, which now will just go down.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty sure this locks Zard for playoffs by 1 diff actually, because Zard can't get passed by Daviasti. I don't know how that name's meant to
David.
be pronounced, but
I just call him David.
just
I just go with David.
David, yeah. I'm pretty sure
works.
that locks Zard for playoffs, so I think one of 3 or 4 coaches to be locked playoffs in Violet. It's a less like tight race for sure over there.
Yeah. Next up we have
It's
Coffee
a
versus
weirder one.
Riptide.
It's a weirder one for stuff I'll get into as well, because one of the players drew, basically, and he is not playing future seasons, because it's the second season he's basically dropped. That was a funny moment, because he didn't even mean to bring Water Absorb, so that's quite funny.
Yeah, they probably
Meant
meant
to
to be
bring
Strong Jaw.
Sand Rush. Or Strong Jaw makes more sense, yeah.
Yeah, this is Scarf, so Strong Jaw is probably what they should be bringing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drew basically messaged David when David was trying to schedule, basically going like, "Oh, I basically dropped LMAO, so we forfeited their last 4 games, and they're not playing future seasons." Couldn't
Yep.
even tell us properly that they're dropping. Like, come on.
Yeah. There were 3-2 as well. Damn.
Yeah, they weren't even like a bad diff.
Toxic
I think
Spam.
that's what basically locked Aaron for playoffs.
Something I might even take a Blood Moon, depending on the
I
spread.
think it might. I think it could do. Like, honestly, this is why I need to get a bit better at using Blood Moon, because I'm using it at the minute. I'm doing well with it, but I need to get better at making those reads with the Protect and stuff when I'm using it in CPL. Though I am 10-free at the minute after 5 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blood Moon's so good. I used it in a Paldea Dex League one time. So good.
I've got
I
it
used
paired
it
with Mega
to
Gallade.
Oh, that's good. I had it paired with Rilla Sneasler actually.
Oh, that's fun. I like that. Because it passive healing
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. And ground type with earth power helps with Rillaboom. So
I
it was
might try
really
that.
good.
I might try that pairing, at least Rillaboom and like, honestly, like, I don't think I'm using Mega Gallade well, but honestly, Ursulina Blood Moon, like, I thought that was the one I was going to struggle with more, but actually, I think it actually suits my style, because I like pivoting and then just get it in and going like, die, die, die,
Yeah.
just basically killing everything. And Vacuum Wave's goated on it as well. I'm loving
Also,
Vacuum Wave.
yeah, Grassy Seed really is kind of nice on it when I used it. Cause I brought a Grassy Seed Calm Mindset into a Sun Gouging Fire team, and I took 16 and just reverse swept.
Oh my
So that
god,
mon's so good.
to be fair, Grassy Seed, also because it also does get body press as well, which you can bring. Very rare, it's actually better than any other stuff, but
Yeah. The only
I
thing
did
with
bring it.
Ursulina is steel types that resist ground or aren't weak to ground. So
One thing
No,
to
there is
also
some heat
note
from that.
about
So,
Blood
like,
Moon, since Blood Moon has been revealed, normal Ursaluna has fallen off from play a lot. A lot of people just prefer Blood Moon now.
I get it, to be fair, because it's a lot. I think it's actually better. I will say this as well, by the way, for those steel types that basically are immune to ground or resist ground, the ones that are immune to ground, off Smackdown, it does get Smackdown. I brought an AV Smackdown set into a team that their only counter to Blood Moon was Skarmory, and just nuked it. And then after that,
yeah,
AV Blood Moon went in because they had a Spectre as well. They couldn't do any damage to it.
Yeah, I brought Yon one time into a Corviknight matchup, and it allowed me to win the game because they just let their Corv sleep. So I just started setting up sword stances with Sarah Ledge.
Oh wow.
But like
Yeah, that
honestly,
was
the thing
probably
with
my
Blood Moon
best
is
league in a while there. I went
honestly,
6-1 before a meme game.
Oh, it's a special Palafin. I
yeah,
completely oversaw the first boom burst.
that's a good bring to be fair into Vaporeon.
Yeah.
Like Vape always has to come if you're facing a Palafin, but also if you're a good Palafin player, you just counter around that. You either bring like the sub bulk upset because if they don't like, I love Smoliv, but sorry Smoliv. If you don't bring phasing or like alluring voice, then it just can basically set up for free in front of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like rather than special, I feel like Overcloak would have done better here because it stops both Alluring Voice and Scald from really hitting the Palafin.
Oh, good shout.
Yeah, the only
Yeah,
thing that will remove the pal from there, at least stop it setting up, is phasing.
Yeah.
yeah, and I suppose and you could like sub bulk up probably like Drain Punch Water move, although I suppose that doesn't hit Delmise, so maybe you could even ditch sub in that case or just do something else. But yeah, I feel like the special set doesn't work well just because Vaporeon is naturally very specially bulky.
Yeah, I actually think that this subset is the best one. I mean, you just basically make sure the rest of the team can just take out Delmise if it comes,
Yeah.
and then your game plan is remove Delmise and then set up with Palafin to win.
Yeah,
Oh, and
I
remove
gotta
Blood Moon
prep.
as well.
I have a
Oh,
Delmise and Rapid has Palafin, so I gotta be careful
yeah, be
this
very
next
careful.
week.
I would also say actually as well, you get rid of Blood Moon first as well, just in case it has Hyper Voice.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah, I'll be
Blood Moon
you
Riptide
also
can
running
probably
two
open
Pokemon
Blood
with
Moon.
boom burst this week. Interesting.
that is pretty wild, but it makes sense. Well, I think I think that you only win it on the. I do think the subset's better for Palafin here. Um, I was going back to Blood Moon as well. That's the thing is, like, it's so good. You usually only need to run like Hyper Voice, um, Blood Moon, Earth Power, and then the fourth move can just be whatever you need it to be. It can be Moonlight, it can be Yawn, it can be some random tech move, it can be Smackdown.
Yeah, I ran a lot of Moonlight just to keep it healthy, just so I could comment
Mm,
on things multiple times.
yeah, I run
But
Vacuum.
yeah,
I've run Vacuum Wave quite a bit. I've also run Moon. I'm also probably going to run Moonblast at some point if there's a
oh,
4x weakness to it because
is
it gets
Riptide gonna
Moonblast.
flinch spam? Guess not.
Ah, there's Scarfed Mamo.
Uh,
It,
Makes
so they
sense.
just got the read wrong onto Weezing, but got
yeah,
rewarded for it. Uh,
exactly.
Hey, luck is a skill. This match was very long.
Yeah.
I think it went
yeah, we're
90
at
turns.
60 turns. That's like 5 times my game already.
True.
Riptide, bless him, is trying to make plays here, but just like every read is just going wrong, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think he has to though. If he's going to break the team, he has to make some reads.
Yep. If he wants to
Yeah,
break through
the only thing,
Vape and Wheezing, he has to make the right read with the Mamo. Because the other things just don't break at this point.
yeah, or a Palfin. But you need to get that in safely, which isn't something that these guys can really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this doesn't get Bam has.
And now the
Yeah,
Yeah,
Palafin goes
that's the
in.
thing. You need to.
I get it.
Your only out was trying to get in, because Flygon does nothing here, so I feel like sacking it would probably have been the better play to get in Palafin for free. But um, yeah, at this point, it's just such a difficult. This is such an uphill battle, anyways. That this fat can just kind of sit on your team. You have no hazards up, and they're probably just gonna be able to out pivot you.
Yeah.
The Moonlight is a good play there because the Protect's super obvious. Like
Yeah, there's Odino lives one though.
Megadino is stupid. Mega
I
Ordino, if they got
suppose.
regen, would be
I
a
suppose this
16
guy's
pointer.
kind of tanking. Oh
Okay,
yeah,
this
Mega
isn't.
Auto is really, really good.
If it had auto recovery, then just Wish might be a better Pokemon.
No, it just honestly get rid of heal and give it regen. It's a 15-16 pointer. I'm telling you now. I would draft that thing elite every season if it did.
Yeah, if it kept regen, it would be a lot better. That is true. I
doesn't
don't
even
even
need
know
heal
why they
regen.
would remove it, because outside of like Audino's a bad Pokemon in general. Why not just not make it good?
I think they gave it healer to try and make it good in doubles. I generally think that was the idea, but it's never going to be a good doubles one. It's
Yeah,
just make it good
especially
for
since
singles.
the main mega most people use in doubles is Zard Y.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
Game Freak can try all they want, but everyone will still use Clefairy as their fairy type cleric, no matter how hard
yeah.
they try.
Oh, I mean, if Mega Ordino got regen, I'd use that as my. I never use Clefairy. I'm more likely to use Dash Bun.
Well, I mean, in
Clefairy
doubles.
you would probably like though,
Oh,
Roy.
doubles,
It
yeah.
is a Roy type of Pokemon.
Oh yeah, doubles 100%. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they can try putting healer on something, but it's just, yeah, I suppose you just sack here. Because
and then just
you
kill
didn't
it.
really need to, I guess, but
The only problem is
No,
high roll into crit on the Vaporeon.
yeah.
yeah, I guess you're risking crit there.
But yeah.
Yeah. That was a very drawn out match. Riptide tried their best to get something going,
Yeah.
but they just
Yeah,
never
like,
broke through the defense.
if they got a couple of reads right, they would have won this game and actually be in playoff contention still.
Yeah, but that loss probably knocked them out, so.
Yeah, their diff's too low, unfortunately.
Off
Penis.
Penis versus Aaron. Every time I
Aaron
see
loves the
every
penis.
single draft Penis does, he has Venusaur and Torkoal. Every single
He loves
fucking one.
He's Aussie. He loves the sun. They love the sun. They love shrimps on the Barbie. They love kangaroos. They love cricket. They love rugby. They love hating on the
A lot of
English.
Aussies hate
I think that's the
kangaroos.
most
What are
hated.
you on about?
A lot of them hate
Are
the
we
English
just trying
too,
to
but you know,
speak for the Aussies now? Is that
yes.
the play?
No,
All
like
right.
a lot of Aussies hate kangaroos because they can be a pest to like farms and everything. Like they actually just go up and you take the stuff from the farm and everything. And you
Australia is one
cannot stop
odd
them because a
place.
kangaroo will fucking nuke you.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know
do
why
think
you
that,
growth there. That growth was really bad, especially if you're not Heat Rock.
Yeah.
yeah, like last turn of Sun growth into a pretty good counter for it just isn't really the play, I don't think.
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
attack
it just
there.
gives up, you're
Even
just
it
giving
just
up
gets hit.
momentum to Volcarona. I guess you probably, like, do you even force it out?
No, you just do chip to it and then you switch out. Because you have no choice.
I assume you hope Sneasler doesn't get flame bodied?
Yeah. That's the big thing now. Sneasler is not allowed to get flame bodied now. Which it does,
Nope,
Yep.
never mind.
but it doesn't matter.
And
Yeah, you
well, I
let
don't
this
think it
mon
matters.
in and it's just gonna
Honestly, I
kind of
feel
run your
like
fade.
I feel like that was Penis going for the I'm gonna Haxa with Diaclaw and sweep, and they got Haxa in
Interesting
return.
that they did not just have acrobatics.
So what
Yeah,
the
or
lesson is,
gunk
Penis,
shot
unless you're
into
me,
flame body and static sometimes.
Penis learned that he's not me and just doesn't get the sleep every time on Diaclaw.
This is also
I didn't
interesting.
get any useful status on Dire Claw all year when I ran Rilla Sneasler. I clicked
Yeah,
it 4
toxic
times
on.
against a Landorus, got nothing, and then because I got nothing, it couldn't be in range of and I was Poison Touch too. Because I got nothing, it couldn't put it in range of a Hurricane from Jugulus.
I've clicked it 3 times this season. I've got a power the first week, which won me the game because I was able to come back again after being hacked myself. Hacked Ben to beat him with sleep, and then hacked Rapid to get an extra diff point.
That's brutal. I wish I had that luck with my Rillaboom.
There's a reason why Ben constantly rips into me for my hacks, because I do get very lucky a lot of the time.
Roy is probably the luckiest Pokemon player I know.
Luck is a skill. I just believe I'm going to get lucky, and I do.
Yeah, but when I do it, it doesn't work.
You don't believe. You literally name yourself luckless. It's because you don't believe enough.
I mean, true, I guess.
I always try and like this is like goes to poker as well. Like I always try and think positively and like I'm going to get lucky. And obviously, sometimes that doesn't always work. I like the poker story I was telling you the other day, but I do try and generally think positive. Like I'm going to get lucky. I'm going to do well, and I try and remember when I do get lucky because it helps me not tilt when I get unlucky.
Yeah. Every time you get unlucky, just remember the games you have versus me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do. Like legitimately, I actually do. Legit, not even like as a mocking. Legitimately, because I could go like, well, I got lucky here. It happens. It evens out.
Just the amount of luck you had in your PBL run.
I
Oh,
guess
that's why I
sparkling
boast about
aria
it.
is
It's so
interesting
funny
here.
how lucky I was.
Yeah, sparkling
Yeah,
area
that's
is very
Sparkling aria
interesting.
because it takes off the Ursaluna burn.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good tech. Though I think it counters out though by you poisoning the Ursaluna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you poison it, it doesn't matter. But
Yeah, but this Ursaluna seems to be bulletproof anyways and not guts.
Yeah.
but I mean,
Which
it's
makes
just a
sense.
smart bring into a potential guts one because then you can stay in and live a hit.
Yeah.
Because you can, even if sparkling aria doesn't kill, yeah, you still have it out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, this Venusaur just doesn't do anything into like non. I mean, it's because it just dies to like a psychic, right? You, it just loses the sequence. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it has psychic, but yeah, it does die here.
Yeah, there's little way for like after the horrible sequence against Volcarona, it was kind of hard for Penis to come back, which they actually quite nicely do.
Yeah, they honestly did well. Like to get back to this diff, if that makes sense. They did as best they could here.
Yeah.
Like the funny part is, like we'll see it in the standings in a minute. They'd have their very outside chance to make playoffs. They'd be in a better position to make playoffs if they just got 1 or 2 more kills somewhere.
Yep.
Because they've played their week 9, so they're locked where they can finish, and they're not out of playoffs yet, but their chances are very slim.
Yep.
They need they
Yeah,
need someone to go
because
their way very much.
yeah, because they're 1 point behind 6th seed right now. So
Yeah. And
I
6 seed
suppose
has
getting
already
it down.
played.
Yeah, I suppose getting it down to a 1-0. Or is it going to be 1-0? Probably,
It is a
right?
1-0,
Yeah.
yeah.
1-0. Yeah, this is 1-0.
Because this Primarina's locked in, so
Oh yeah, then for sure.
Oh, it was max defense. Okay, that's also why it lived. So honestly, Diaclaw would have killed most of the times, but Aaron brought a bulky as fuck Falcorona.
yep.
Do we want to watch the Emilio game? It's like 19 turns.
Yeah, sure. Let's quickly watch it.
Honestly, there's a fun interaction here.
Emilio actually brought the Swadloon. Interesting.
Well, there's a fun interaction here that actually taught me something as well that I didn't know.
What is the does it have to do with webs and proto?
Yes.
Yeah,
I didn't
because
know this interaction.
yeah, because it takes your it goes based on the modified web stat. It's interesting for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people tend to forget that if a stat is lowered and you get into Proto, your next highest stat will be the one that's boosted.
Yeah. Like a paralyzed mon doesn't get booster speed basically ever.
I will say Emilio got 1 kill with Mega Gallade, but better for Mega Gallade. So come on, Emilio, work on your game.
Yeah, like the where I knew that interaction from, because I played with a Sun team against somebody who had Great Tusk, and they had a defense proto Great Tusk, and they clicked close combat, and then it wasn't their defense that got boosted, and they were so confused.
Yeah, I suppose that's also like happened with like rapid spin probably. If you rapid spin once, then your highest stat could be speed depending on your spread. So
Exactly.
It's like niche interactions like that are quite fun sometimes. Like this still keeps its speed because it's a sunset, but yeah. Sorry, not
well,
sunset.
it's also
Boot
just
set.
boots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boot. I meant to say boots. I didn't mean to say sunset. So I was there like, but yeah, this point it's over. Like this is now over because like Porygon C will break the Scream Tail.
Yep.
Like, it will just nuke it, and then everything else will just die.
Yep,
Yeah,
because with
because
the webs
if
up.
Moon isn't boots, then it probably is slower.
Yeah.
I
And
suppose the sky as well.
I don't think Rapid noticed the fact that Sane noticed like turn 4 that we saw this interaction trigger, because it happened with the Wake, and I don't think they noticed it.
Yeah, maybe they were special attack boost on Wake anyway, so they didn't notice.
That could be it as well. Yeah, Porygon C sweep.
Yep. And that one actually got Emilia in a better position for playoffs, but Sully is gatekeeping, so.
But then Sully choked on penis. Sorry, not Sully. Emilio choked on penis.
Choked on penis. Yeah, that is in week 9. The other matches were Jay Fuka versus Real Blackbeard, aka Ray.
That happened like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Mega Houndu did some stuff. Quicarval was also good here, and then Weezing just cleaned up an endgame.
Yeah. Ray was not really able to break this Weezing somehow.
I think that was also the week that Ray had to play like about 10 different games in like the space of a week for 2 different leagues.
Yeah, that is.
So it was just
true.
like, that doesn't really help with your prep. I think Ray was already locked for playoffs by that point as well, because he just went out. And Drew basically Drew's not playing next season.
Yeah, Drew just basically they've just basically got the win because Drew dropped out. Bakano's locked out of playoffs. I think so. Drew's obviously locked out of playoffs. They are not playing anymore.
Riptide is due to death.
Yeah. Riptide is due to diff because Riptide cannot make up enough diff to make it into playoffs.
Yeah, because Copy got the win over Drew because Drew basically had a forfeit loss. So that's why he can't drop where he is. We'll get to the other places now, because Penis is the one with the least likely chance, because they now need David to lose and lose big for them to overtake.
Yeah, they need a 5-0 loss from David.
Yeah. And they need Jay Fuka, aka Sully, to like not win twice.
Yeah.
Or lose big enough, and Sully and Emilio to basically lose.
Yeah, they need to basically pass. They need to be ahead of 2 of David, Jay Fuka, and Emilio. So that's going to be pretty difficult. Like, there's a chance it happens, but it's probably like 10%.
Yeah.
They need to be ahead of 3 of them, because they can't overtake Copy. Copy would go above David if David went below Penis. So they need to finish above all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, the important game is the David game, because if David wins, everybody underneath him is just not making playoffs, except for maybe Jay Fuka / Sully.
Couldn't Emilio still make it, because Emilio could still make it even if David wins, because Emilio could pass
Copy, yeah.
Could
Emilio
pass,
needs a win by at least 2 to not tie in diff.
Can you just check if Copy played Emilio? Just a second. Well, we'll come into it. Yeah, Emilio has a tiebreaker. If Emilio wins the last game, they're in.
Yep, Emilio just needs to win their last game and then they're in.
And actually, there is actually.
I don't think that's the case, right?
No, because your Fuka game still as well.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case. I think if Emilio could pass Copy, but then fall behind Jay Fuka and David. But I think a certain diff with Emilio will lock Emilio in, because if Emilio can guarantee that he's ahead of any David loss, then he's in.
Yeah.
Because if Emilio wins, then I'm pretty sure he's ahead of
So if David loses by 1 and is at 0, Emilio needs to win by 4 or 5, depending on if they played.
Actually, they played Jafuka, so aka Sully. So actually, if they win by enough, they make sure Jafuka them.
Wait, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's actually just win and in that case, because then no matter what, if it's win and in,
Jafuka can win by basically a big amount and overtake him in that scenario. If he only wins 1-0 against Jafuka, aka Sully, and then Sully thrashes Aaron for whatever reason, then J-Fucker could overtake. So if it's like 1-0, then
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But I would say the important games are the Sully Emilio game, the Aaron Sully game, the David whoever David plays game. And I think that's it. 'Cause all the other ones are the same.
So Emilio would need to win by 5 to overtake David. If David lost by 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
did Emilio lose the
Honestly,
head-to-head?
Yeah, he
if
lost
Emi-
the head-to-head.
I think the most
Oh.
important thing for Emilio is overtaking Copy. If Emilio wins, I think Copy is out of playoffs. Oh no, they're not, because David could lose by a big amount as well. Actually,
Yeah.
Copy's just basically preying on everyone's downfall.
So the important matches are for who gets into playoffs are Emilio J-Fuka, then the J-Fuka Aaron match / Sully Aaron match, and then it's the David Zard match. These are the ones that decide who gets into playoffs.
Yeah, we'll probably watch the Penis Emilio match that week though as well, because that's also a playoff potential decider. Penis can still scrape in, but it's very unlikely at this point.
They need David to lose big and everybody underneath them to not overtake them.
Yeah, they would need J-Fucker to say they would basically need David to lose, I think, by I think if David actually I think they're just full out because they'll always be below Copy and then one of J-Fucker David, because if David loses big enough to fall behind, then J-Fucker can't then lose the other game to fall behind
Oh no, he
Shinobi
can.
Fox.
If J-Fucker beat Emilio 1-0 and then lost to Aaron 6-0, for example, he would be behind Penis.
Yep.
Oh right,
So it can
because they
happen.
don't play David. Yeah, so I guess it is
No.
So David plays Zard.
Yeah.
So
So they need
one thing also to note right now about the playoffs, no seed is locked. Technically,
yeah.
Aaron could overtake Ray for first. If Aaron loses, Ray is locked first, because nobody can then get to 7 wins. If Aaron loses, he can fall on, and Zard or Zane win. They can overtake Aaron. Yeah, so basically, considering the games, every game is important to watch for either seeding or who gets into playoffs, except Bakano Riptide. That's the one match that can be memed the shit out of.
Yeah, they can just meme with each other.
Yeah. So David's Zard is important for standings, and if David makes playoffs, J-Fuka and Emilio is important for Emilio's playoff hopes. Zane versus Ray is important for seeding. And J-Fuka versus Aaron / Sully versus Aaron is important for Aaron's seeding, and if J-Fuka / Sully makes playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think J-Fucker's playing odd if they make playoffs, but I think Sully's just subbing in for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is weird, but whatever. It's funny.
One more thing, we did not talk about the kill leaders before in Scarlet. So number 10 we have Roy Sneasler. 9 is Zach's Walking Wake, then Ryan's Porygon Z, then it's Order's Iron Bundle. Then it's Kaliza's Mega Medicham, and then Spectrier. Mega T-Type from Rapid is number 4. Tinglu from Order is number 3. My Entei is number 2. And Mega Gallade from Ryan is number 1. So if I'm not making playoffs, I'm just going to try to get as many kills on Entei as possible.
Emilio, that's how you use Mega Gallade, by the way. Also, special shout out to Reggie still in 15th, who's only come to 2 games. Same as Appleton. 6-0, like...
Yeah. Somehow my Tinkaton is still, like, top, like, doing decent. Because it got it farmed against Ryan, I think.
Yeah, that's what it was. But Golden Ghost also pretty high up, considering it's been very rough for the early season, but it got a lot of kills in the later part of the season.
Golden Ghost so good. I love that guy.
Yeah, same.
Really good.
And then for Violet, it's Zard's Hydreigon at 10, Penis' Sneasler at 9, Zard's Lopunny at 8, Aaron's Mega Mawile at 7, Zard's Iron Leafs at 6, Porygon Z from Emilio is number 5, then Houndoom Mega from Jefuka is 4, Emilio's Gallade is 3, has the exact same kills as Ryan's Gallade, by the way.
So basically, Carlos, we've been doing a funny meme of just basically winding up Emilio and saying he's using Gallade mega badly when he actually probably hasn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
he
know,
has
12 kills. You're not using them on right. Yeah.
He has actually for most of the season used the bat. He's just he got a sweep with it and then like 3 kills in one match. I can actually like look through most matches. It went out without a kill or just 1 kill.
Yeah, it's got also more kills more deaths than Ryan's has got. To be fair,
Yeah,
and has played it 1 more game.
Race Annihilate is number 2, and Zane Slitherwing is number 1. And considering I think it just needs 2 or 3 kills to lock for number 1.
Yeah, 3 kills would lock it at number 1.
Yeah.
2 kills, I suppose, could. It depends on if it dies, if the Annihilate dies, but...
Yeah. And in Scarlet, it's pretty open still. Because in Scarlet...
Yeah, Scarlet could be anything, because there's so many mons that are... Like, top 6 could all realistically do it. I mean, so could, like, 7, 8... 7, 8, 9 could... Well, no. 7 and 9 couldn't. I guess PZ in theory could as well.
Technically, everything starting from Mega Heracross could become kill leader if they 6-0 and any of these don't get kills anymore.
No.
But Emboar and Mega Heracross are out because of the death toll. Same for Gallade.
It's 22nd onwards. I'm going to try and get 6 kills with Registeel this week.
So it's...
Make it kill leader.
That's space.
It's just Floatzel, Lele, Rillaboom, Goldengo, Latios, Appleton, Registeel, Palafin, Darm, Iron Leaf, Sylveon, and then the top 10.
They didn't have a Mega Power Shop, I probably would try.
Well, I suppose anyone on Order's team and Zach's team can't do it because that was a forfeit game.
Yeah, that is true. So Order's team locked in that position.
Or lower, depending on if like Spec or Medi or Bundle, or I guess PZ or T-Tar gets a kill.
Yeah. I'm just gonna try for as many kills as possible with Entei.
I hope I can end with 2 top 5s, but I don't know. Kind of just depends on...
I might try and get one of my Rillaboom or Registeel or something else into the top 10.
I'm either gonna end with Entei and kill leader or Golungo and Entei in both in top 10. It's one of the two. That's
I suppose you only need like 2 or 3 Goldengo kills.
Yeah.
Which is possible. I just got like 2 or 3 Goldengo kills in a battle yesterday. Like, it's doable. Like, and I just ran a defensive set. I just like killed the whole team.
Yeah. I have not once run Nasty Plot this season yet, so depending on how the matchup looks, I might run it.
Well, Registeel's come to like 2 matches, and both matches it basically was there as a counter to Porygon C and then just swept in the end, and here just cleaned up at the end with 3 kills.
Yeah. So that was the whole recap though. We already told you everything about the most important games to watch for the last week. In the last week, we're obviously going to go over the important games we mentioned. Probably not every game, just the games that are deciders or impact stuff a lot. Yeah.
That makes sense.
We would be done then. Klaas, anything you want to say to the beautiful players of BTL?
Nothing really. Just hope you have a good end of the season.
Roy, anything from you? Okay, I'm guessing that's a no.
Whatever you're saying, we can't hear it.
Oh, sorry, my thing froze. Sorry, I'm just happy to have made playoffs, and I've had fun. I actually like the team I've built. It's definitely a me team. Yeah.
The one thing I can take from the season is that I actually enjoy using Entei.
Yeah.
Although I've missed more Sacred Fires than I've hit.
I have never used any of these mons, bar I think Ogerpon in a tour, so or like in an off season. So pretty fun to use. I like all the guys on my team. I'd draft all of them again, I'd say.
I've only used the only one I've not used on this team is Sneasler. and I've loved Sneasler.
You haven't used Samurott.
Oh yeah, Samurai Hisui as well. I honestly, it's because I've wanted to draft it so many times that in my head I've drafted it, but I've never actually got to use it yet.
Yeah. I think like it's priced like pretty low here. So I was between Samurott because you were 2 picks ahead of me for round 3. I was between Samurott and Ogerpon. You just made my decision a little easier.
The thing is, if Roy didn't take a Samurott in that round, I would have, because my original plan was with Samurott, but Roy then said he wanted Samurott, and I was like, I can take Cleaver. I'm fine with swapping that for you.
Because you guys talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about our drafts, and I was like, I'm fine with taking Cleavor. I just want either Cleavor or Samurott with Golden Go as a pairing.
I would have taken Cleaver if he really wanted Samurai.
That makes sense.
I did want. I wanted because all my team in CPL, for example, one of the big weaknesses of my team is my hazards are Crocodile, and then it's Glamette and Shuckle.
Yeah,
which is not good hazard mods.
I have a team with Glamora, Tinglu in a different league, so I paired them with gold. So
that's disgusting.
It's
that's you
Anyway.
just basically run everything into that matchup.
It's those guys in Slowking Kyurem. I'm really balling out.
Yeah, that's great. Jesus. Anyway, before we talk on about what drafts we have been the Clodcast. This has been a longer episode than usual, but I hope everybody has the luck they want for their end of season matches, and see you guys at the end of next week or at the beginning of next week for the reveal of who made playoffs. If you did
one last thing, Smoliv, if you beat me, Ben's gonna throw you out the window.
Yes. Anyway, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.